You know, one thing that I can say is that the only team that I go for that does terrible is my NFL team. Like, I literally enjoy every other sports. You know, my NBA team is successful. My freaking baseball team making it back to the World Series, just like what I seen them last year. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting on the other, you know, peoples to finish their series. You know, they're going to game 7, but you know, my baseball team going to the World Series, my college team dominating. That's what I be trying to tell people. Y'all, the only team that I go for that isn't successful is my NFL team, is the New York Giants. That's it. Every other season, my team in the playoffs, my team is relevant. You know what I mean? But a lot of y'all not like that. A lot of y'all can't do it. A lot of y'all, when it comes to y'all baseball team, you can't win World Series, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna see my team go back to back in the biggest stage of them all. Same thing for my college team. My college team is finna make it to the national championship. NBA team, NBA starts this Tuesday. We finna make noise, finna beat the brakes off the ops. We play the ops the first game, beats the head off them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's good for me, you know? Like I said, even though my NFL team ain't doing good, I come back over here and I'm happy. Fa la 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 la. I'm happy, you know? So it's like, okay, I can go to NFL and I ain't really pleasant by how they performing, but I can come over here and I'm back good again. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of y'all can do that. All y'all teams pathetic. You got some people where all your team is pathetic. You're not enjoying no sports. You don't enjoy no sports. But anyways, man, it's your boy Jay, man. Take it easy. Before you end up like Beezy, make sure y'all follow my Twitch. Like I said, y'all showing me major love on Twitch, all seriousness, even all the ops, even though it's F the ops. Hey, the ops, man, look, I appreciate y'all too. You know what I mean? For showing me love on the Twitch. You know what I mean? Link in the description down below. Subscribe to my second channel. If you want to go see videos like these, my new subscribers and my new viewers, it is in the playlist section. College football reactions is what I call it. Pretty Ricky what they call it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, we got the college football rankings. I think this is y'all week 9, if I'm not mistaken, week 9. But amazing win for my Crimson Tide. I was trying to look for my blanket. You know, I need to start wearing my Scully. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm a real Bama boy. You know what I'm saying? Like 334. Y'all know what it is. Where all my 334 members at, man? 334, straight from the dot. And I claim the gump too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, real Bama boy, bro. Real. It's not even a real country boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Alabama really ain't country for real. You know what I'm saying? Alabama just like any other state. No, it ain't. It's treacherous. Alabama is treacherous, but Alabama is a special place. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Alabama is it's a special place that only us Alabama people know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got all the outsiders that say all the things about Alabama. Most of them never step foot in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a special place to us. And when it comes to our team, bro, Alabama is special to us, bro. They're my boys, bro. You know, we support them, bro. And, you know, they show love to us too, man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you feel me? Because, you know, you got a lot of people that's from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised, you feel me? You know, so, you know, you got Reed Morgan. I think Reed Morgan from Phoenix City, Alabama. You got Pierre from Eufaula, Alabama. But I've been to those places. You know what I mean? That's right up the street from the dot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's you know, one thing I like that Kalen DeBoer is doing, he's recruiting in his backyard. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, bro, I feel like Alabama has the best athletes in the world. I'm gonna keep it G. Like, we don't get talked about a lot when it comes to our athletes, bro, because we're not as big as other states. You know, people love talking about Texas and Florida, but Alabama, bro, is a very underrated state that brings out a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? But us being the top 5 poorest states, bro, us being a small state, bro, we don't get talked about like that. But, bro, you got to understand, man, Texas and Florida, man, I'm telling you, bro, you know what I'm saying? Georgia, they got some athletes. I'm not going to act like they ain't got athletes, bro, but I feel like Alabama is very slept on when it comes to talent. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to football, because it's all we got in Alabama, bro. Like, it's literally nothing else to do but play basketball and play football, at least where I'm from. You know, you got other different cities in Alabama. You got Tuscaloosa, you got Dothan, you got Montgomery, you got Eufaula, you got Phoenix City, you got other cities, you know what I mean? But I know where I'm from, it's only playing basketball and football. It's only sports down there. Told you only got one water park in this water world. You know, you only got 2 high schools. It was Northview and D-High. They merged together, so now you only got one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a very small city. where I'm from. You know, we call it the dot because literally, like, I know where everything is. Literally, everybody know everybody. But Alabama, man, winning that game, and I just try to tell people over and over again, it's like what I'm saying is prospering. You know, I was right about my MLB team going to the World Series back to back, and I'm right about my Alabama team. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see us back at the top. You know, honestly, we was like this last year, and our talent, we got wasted, bro, by Jalen Mildew. I'm sorry. You know, Jalen Mildew is literally the reason why we didn't make it last year. And I try to stress that to y'all a lot. That the only reason we, like, what y'all see this year, y'all, is how we were last year. You know what I'm saying? It's how we were last year. You know what I mean? Literally. We just had a bad QB. Now our QB is playing at a high level. And when it comes to history, when it comes to history, you see what we do when we have good quarterbacks. Jalen Mildew was the worst quarterback in history, and we made it to the Final Four with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, Ty Simpson, I feel like, will win the Heisman. I don't feel like no quarterback in the nation is better than Ty Simpson. I don't feel like no quarterback is doing what Ty Simpson is doing while playing at the high level. You got quarterbacks doing certain things, putting up the stats, but they're not playing the competition that Ty Simpson is playing. You know, this man is playing ranked schools after ranked schools after ranked schools after ranked schools and playing at the high level. So we can talk about Julian Sand, we can talk about all them other cats, but they haven't played the teams that Ty Simpson has played, point blank, period. So in my opinion, that makes Ty Simpson better than anybody in the nation, because you know why? We have the most ranked wins in the nation. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has a harder schedule than us. Nobody. Name one. You can say Florida, hate to do. We play the same teams Dana that Florida play. Literally. You know what I mean? We play the same teams that Florida play. We have the toughest schedule in the freaking league. And I feel like that right there should be mentioned when we talk about the top 12 teams in college football. When we talk about the top 12 teams in college football, strength of schedule should matter. Point blank, period. There's no way strength of schedule shouldn't matter. In my opinion, even though we had Mildew, we should have got in over SMU. Point blank, period. That's all I'm saying. Then you got LSU. Oh my God, Miami? Miami lost to Louisville and they only dropped the number 9. Forget what I was finna say. Let's go and get it to these rankings. I can see these rankings finna piss me off.
We have breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. The new college football.
I'm getting tired of this jump! For real!
After a wild weekend.
Miami, number 9. After the performance they just had. After the performance that Carson Beck just had. 4 interceptions. Losing to Louisville and they only dropped the number 9. What? Indiana number freaking 2. It's blasphemy. Ole Miss will beat the brakes off Indiana. LSU will beat the brakes off Indiana. A lot of teams, we will beat the brakes off Indiana. Georgia will beat the brakes off Indiana. A lot of teams, Georgia Tech number 7? What? Georgia Tech? Number 7? Wow. That's a new one in the top 10. But Indiana, I even feel like Ohio State. Like, let's keep it real, bro. Ohio State, bro, and I'm going to just say this in all honesty, bro. Even last year, I was saying Tennessee going to put belt to booty. But then I kind of had to realize y'all played Tennessee in the cold. They are a Southern team. So y'all automatically was at an advantage playing in the cold. Because that's what y'all used to. You see what I'm saying? I honestly feel like if you would have played down south, it would have been way closer. But Tennessee is not really a good team, honestly, away from home. But I give y'all that. I did say Tennessee would beat y'all. So I give y'all that. But then you played Texas, who was not such a good team. They were not that good last year. Literally. Texas was trash. They almost lost to Arizona State, bro. They couldn't beat Georgia. The team that they played that was ranked last year lost. They didn't play nobody last year. Literally. They had an easy schedule. Literally. They barely beat Kentucky 16-13. And then you played Notre Dame. So like Ohio State, you had an easy road to the playoffs. Like, easy road to the playoffs, and you had an easy road to the national championship. I'm going to give you G. I'm going to keep it all the way busky with you. Indiana. You are not a good team. You have a soft schedule, literally. You had like one of the most easiest schedules. We seen this last year. Like you have one of the most easiest schedules in the country. But you get rewarded for playing easy teams. And then when you get to the postseason, you get beat on. Indiana, you're not good. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. Texas A&M, you're not how it seems. You are in the SEC, but bro, your schedule is definitely sweet. Honestly, Texas A&M, you're not a number 3 team. Alabama, we're not where we were supposed to be. Honestly, I feel like we're the number 1 team in the nation. You know, people keep bringing up that Florida State win. It's kind of confusing to me. Keep bringing up Florida State like Florida State just lost to Stanford. Did I not just say what they was going to do? I said that this was going to happen. I said they wasn't really a good team. I said we beat ourselves, but people think I just be talking. I said the only reason they beat us because Ty Simpson made 3 dumb throws. We was beating ourselves. I said they would continue to lose, and that's what they're doing. They just lost to Stanford. But you keep bringing up Florida State to us like we're not ranked number 4. Where the freak they at? It's like, dang, that's how I know we was y'all championship. You still talking about that loss? You still talking about 31-17 while you at home and we ranked number 4? It's like, you know we your championship. That's all you care about. I told you all Florida State cared about was beating us. After that, they don't give a F no more. I said that.
Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech have cracked the top 10.
Vanderbilt number 10.
25 poll after a very chaotic weekend. The Commodores jumped to number 10, as you see.
Number 4.
After beating LSU on
Saturday. It's great to be top.
First top 10 ranking.
Y'all see what I be saying?
1947. The
Nothing in the NFL, bro.
7. That's their highest ranking.
My teams be doing stuff.
1995, Ohio State, no surprise there, remains at the top, while Indiana moves to number 2 thanks to Miami's loss to Louisville. And number 3, you see Texas A&M, their best ranking in.
BYU number 11, Notre Dame number 12, Texas Tech dropped, Missouri number 15. So as of right now, this is an easy. I mean, as of right now, we got 1, 2, 3. We only have 3. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SEC schools. Ooh. In the playoffs, you know, and I'm glad they made it like that because usually we be taking each other out, you know. So as of right now, 5 teams.
Number 3, you see
5 SEC teams are in the playoffs
in 30 years. As we look at 11 through 20, is BYU the best team in the Big 12 right now? We're gonna ask that question to our insiders.
Probably Big 12.
Here. They move up 4 spots after their big win against Utah. Notre Dame moves up a spot, same with Oklahoma. Texas Tech, though, falls to 14, 7 spots, as well as Tennessee. They drop 6 after losing to Alabama. And a look at the rest of the top 25.
Bill Napier got fired? Gators dismissed head coach Edmund. Disappointed. Did Napier get fired though?
7 spots, as well as Tennessee. They drop 6 after losing to Alabama. And
Alabama!
The rest of the top 25.
Texas dropped.
Moves up.
That's crazy. Like, Texas thought it, bro. Texas, bro, you should have lost to Kentucky, bro. Like, Kentucky with that 4th and goal, bro. You should have lost Kentucky. I'm not surprised y'all dropped. Y'all should have lost Kentucky. Texas is terrible, bro.
Well, Texas moves down.
Texas is terrible.
Michigan cracks the top
Keep it a
25.
buck. Y'all are terrible,
break it all
bro.
Down for you as we welcome you back inside our
Kentucky should have got that 4th and goal.
Studios. Brad Crawford and Brandon Marcello join me from afar. You guys, I do want to start with Miami here, who falls to number 9 of the teams really towards the top of the rankings. It felt like Miami was the team that could afford a loss. Does this loss, though, change the way you feel about this team, or did they kind of need a loss to wake them up, Brad?
I don't think Miami has to win the ACC to make the playoffs, Jordan, but they do have to win out. And if they do finish 11-1, there's a chance Georgia Tech and Virginia, 2 teams that have not lost an ACC game yet, get to Charlotte, and Miami does not get an opportunity to win the conference. Miami already has 3 top 25 wins. That's going to come in handy late in the year, 6 weeks from now, when the final rankings are released, because most of those at-large teams...
I'm going to keep it real. I don't think they beat South Florida like that again. Like, they dog-walked South Florida, but, I mean, you talking about ranked wins, Florida State, that right there, you know, that right there shouldn't count as a ranked win anymore, so it's like, let's go ahead and just exit out Florida State. So that's an unranked win right here. Unranked win right here. You know, that right there, your resume shouldn't hold up right there. Stanford just beat Florida State, SMU, Syracuse. I honestly see Miami losing one of these games, bro. I do not see Miami finishing up. I'm going to keep it a buck. I feel like they'll lose one of these games, bro. They're going to get upset. I remind y'all, Miami going to lose again. I call it right now. Stanford just beat Florida State, but if it's not Stanford, it's going to be Syracuse or Pittsburgh or SMU. They're going to get upset, bro.
One of those 7 spots, they're going to have 3 or 4 ranked wins, and Miami did most of its damage early in the season. Now, that said, Mario Cristobal, Carson Beck, those 2 guys, they can't have another gaffe like they did Friday night against Louisville, especially when you look at what's left on that ACC.
I see what Keon was saying now about Carson Beck. Carson Beck garbage.
Be a game where if Miami falters,
picks against Louisville,
New Year's Day bowl outside of the playoff is how it's going to look for the Canes.
Yeah, Miami's still the best team in the ACC. Carson Beck throwing 4 interceptions in that game, really 5 if one not being called back. But listen, they're still very, very good. They are just absolutely
down
in the
not.
trenches.
No, they're not.
The ACC is built quite like them, and hopefully for them, Carson Beck learns from these mistakes. I think he just trusts his receivers a little bit too much. 3 of those interceptions were just stupid throws. Let's just face it. He should not be throwing those balls downfield in double and in triple coverage. He needs to learn from this going down on the film here. This is a team that if you face Louisville 10 times, they're going to beat 8 or 9 times out of 10. This Miami.
I mean, you don't know that, man. No, I mean, you honestly don't know that. I feel like the better team won that day. I'm going to just keep it a buck. Yeah, Louisville Louisville isn't, the best of teams, but Louisville was definitely better that day. We're not going to act like, that was Carson Beck's fault for throwing that pass. He threw that into double. Like, nobody was controlling him and making him throw that pass. He threw it on his own decision. You know what I mean? Louisville just, intercepted it. Louisville just read him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in my opinion, Louisville was a better team that day. I'm going to just keep it a buck.
Team.
So I can't honestly say that.
Its own destiny, as Brad said, but to me, still is the best team in the ACC.
All right, well,
they're not a college football playoff team.
Ole Miss, they are down to number 8 in the latest AP Top 25 poll. What a heartbreaker, you guys, last night was against Georgia. Rebels in the lead for majority of that game.
I'm gonna keep it real. Ole Miss, I don't see Ole Miss making it to the playoffs. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I'm gonna read your schedule out loud. I'm going to see you play. I just don't see y'all making it to the playoffs. Y'all defense is terrible. Like D-line, if your defense is terrible, I just do not I don't see you making it. It's like, really? Let's be real, Ole Miss. It's like Ole Miss really hasn't played anybody. It's like your gauntlet starts now, Ole Miss. I'm going to keep it real. You play Kentucky, barely beat Kentucky. You play Arkansas, barely beat Arkansas. The 2 SEC teams that you played, you barely beat at the beginning of the season. Then you play Tulane, and then you barely beat LSU. Then you barely beat Washington State, and you lost to Georgia. So it's like looking at your schedule, Ole Miss. The only blowout win that you got was against Tulane. And next week you play Oklahoma, and then you play South Carolina. You play Citadel, trash. But Ole Miss, honestly, you have a sweet schedule, bro. Like Ole Miss, honestly, you haven't played anybody. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Play Oklahoma, and then you play South Carolina and Citadel. You after Oklahoma, you don't play any more ranked schools. So I'm just keeping it a buck, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Ole Miss, I don't really think Ole Miss is as good as they think they are. This is probably the easiest schedule Ole Miss has had in a minute. We had to play us, and we had a gauntlet. Ole Miss, you never used to win. You never used to, win, honestly. You know what I'm saying? You used to win, but you never was a playoff team. Now it's like your schedule kind of being weak kind of made you a playoff team, especially with it extending to a playoff, college football playoff. They extended it to 12 teams. So honestly, I don't think Ole Miss. I feel like Ole Miss probably get upset by Oklahoma. I feel like one of these games are gonna get upset by. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Mississippi State is a trap game. But I don't know. Ole Miss. I don't know.
Brandon, can they afford another loss?
No.
Yes, they're in the SEC, so they're in a good spot. In fact, we might actually see a 3-loss SEC team get into the playoff this year. I think that's very much on the table at this point because of all the parity we're seeing. Ole Miss in a very good spot.
Yeah, they could. They
cannot afford to trip up, though, I think, this
And
year.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like this season is going by fast. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, bro, we got, after this, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 more games played, bro. Like, bro, football season is going by fast, bro. And it's always like that. It goes by so fast and then take forever to come back. Literally, bro. This junk is going by so fast. You only got like, what, 5 more games to play? Like, dang, bro. Can you slow down a little bit, guy?
Oklahoma's kind of showing its true colors here of late. They're not necessarily a top 10 team. They're not going to be.
I mean, they played South Carolina, though. South Carolina,
OU's
1-year wonder team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely difficult. But with Ole Miss having to go to Norman, that is a trap game if I've ever seen one. OU's defensive line, very good. That defense is very good. You know Ole Miss is going to be a little bit disappointed after coming off of that loss at Georgia on the road.
Their D-line just really got garbage
here, because if you do lose to
their
OU,
D-line
it
is
does
bad.
eliminate you from the college football playoff race, but it certainly can deflate them even further to where not only do they not have any breathing room left, but makes them more likely to actually pick up that third and maybe even fourth loss.
Yeah, 10 wins is the magic number if you're an SEC program.
It's cool. Old Piss. Old Piss is cool.
Just continues to follow Georgia. We have A&M. Are you guys?
We finished with.
I would love to talk about Alabama, bro.
There in Atlanta. So
I ain't gonna lie. This one right here. I mean, I'm not gonna say Florida. We're gonna see what Texas. I don't see them losing to Texas, but Georgia team is disappointing too. Like, we're looking at they're disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. We keeping it real. Like, Georgia really hasn't. I mean, yeah, they play people, but Georgia's schedule is nowhere near like ours either. I'm telling you, we have a tougher schedule than everybody. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? We got a tougher schedule than everybody. Like, we just being real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we played 4 straight ranked games. 4, bro. 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real, bro. This junk is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Versus an 11-0 Georgia Tech team.
I don't see them losing to Florida.
There in Atlanta, so I'm
Georgia Tech, bro.
What this Georgia team can do down the stretch, especially after that win over previously unbeaten Ole Miss.
Yeah, Georgia's in a fantastic position. I think they're going to win out here in the regular season. Georgia Tech just does not impress me all that very much. I mean, their offense was really struggling in the first half, really the first 3 quarters.
I mean, Georgia impressed you, though? Like, let's keep it real. Georgia hasn't really impressed me this season. If anything, I'm going to keep it real. Auburn beat themselves when they come to Georgia. So you talking about they ain't really impressed? Georgia don't really impress me either. Their defense is trash, bro. Their defense is garbage. You know what I mean? Their offense is garbage, too. I'm going to keep it real. They're short route merchants. I don't understand how people can't stop that. We stopped that, like, immediately. Like, they are a screen and running team, honestly. They do not trust their quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, at all. It's obvious. You know what I mean? But you talking about Georgia Tech struggling, but Georgia hasn't been struggling? They definitely have been struggling. I'm not going to lie. Definitely. On the defensive side, most definitely, though. If Ole Miss had a D-line, if Ole Miss had even a little bit, even a decent defense, Georgia would have lost that game. I'm not going to lie.
At Duke this past week, and they were able to rely on their defense to score an early touchdown to give them some breathing room and then build on it from there. But Georgia, that schedule is very favorable, and they keep winning because they've got a gamer at quarterback in Gunnar Stockton and a defense that can seemingly win when it needs to. I'm still concerned about Georgia's defensive line. They came into this game with only 6 tackles.
Their DBs suck.
By that defensive line. They left that game with 0 tackles for loss against Ole Miss.
Pathetic.
This isn't the defensive lines of the past we've seen under Kirby Smart, and yet they keep winning games because they have an offense that can come to life in the second half and a defense that can force turnovers but also clamp down when they need to. Ole Miss scored touchdowns on its first 5 possessions against that Georgia defense, and then they came to life in the 4th quarter, and the offense complemented them with that, outscoring them 17-0. Georgia just has a great coach team with Kirby Smart at the helm. He's making this team, I think, better than what they actually are showing on the field. And that is the sign of a great elite coach like Kirby Smart.
A healthy game.
This right here.
He hopes to 5. LSU, you guys, falls down
LSU
to 20 in the latest poll.
I kind of felt like y'all was gonna lose. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yeah. Florida has fired Billy Napier, but I expected y'all to lose. I'm not gonna lie. Like LSU, bro. I honestly expected y'all to lose to Vanderbilt. Matter of fact, Vanderbilt was favored in this game. Like, you got outplayed by every spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, LSU isn't a good team. it's crazy that all these, you know, when College Football 26 came out, bro, they was overhyping the most. Like, I mean, the overhype was real. We could talk about LSU, Clemson, Penn State. Bro, the overhype was real. You know what I mean? LSU definitely doesn't have a chance. They play us, so when they lose against us, they're definitely over with. You know what I'm saying? But LSU, you got outplayed, bro, on every spectrum. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Every spectrum, every spectrum of the game. When it comes to your D-line, the D-line was man-boing y'all freaking offensive line. You couldn't stop Diego Pavia. You had no answer for him. Yeah, man, y'all just got outplayed, bro. And I honestly expected y'all to lose. Honestly, it wasn't even surprising. I told y'all about them boys Vanderbilt.
Are the Tigers' CFP hopes still alive with games like A&M, at Bama, at Oklahoma?
It's over with.
On their schedule.
It's over with.
Brad, get the Tigers into the dance?
They ain't winning out nothing.
Winning out was certainly getting the dance, but that would mean 5 new offensive linemen, a healthy Garrett Nussmeier, you know, a play caller that knows what he's doing the second half of the season, and we haven't seen that through the first 7 weeks for LSU.
I would love y'all to beat Texas A&M though. I ain't gonna lie.
Game, Jordan. After that close win over South Carolina, that it felt
I'll beat them. I love that.
Season was about to capsize in Nashville. They lost to Vanderbilt. They're going to lose to unbeaten Texas A&M. Still have 2 more ranked teams after that.
They're going to lose.
This has just not been.
That's crazy. They're going to lose to unbeaten Texas. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Texas A&M that good. I think LSU beat Texas A&M. I'm gonna just keep it real. I ain't gonna even be biased. You know what I mean? So you saying they're going to lose? Like, nah, I don't think they're gonna lose. I don't think they're gonna lose Texas A&M. I think LSU actually can beat Texas A&M. I don't think Texas A&M is as good as portrayed. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. You know what I mean?
Texas A&M still have 2 more ranked.
So you saying they're not gonna beat Texas A&M? That's kind of crazy.
Vanderbilt. They're gonna lose to unbeaten Texas A&M. Still
They're
have
not.
2 more ranked teams.
I don't
after
think
that.
they're gonna lose.
This has just not been the team that Brian Kelly thought he had assembled this offseason when LSU went all into the transfer portal and, depending on your preferred ranking, landed the nation's top class in that department. Garrett Nussmeier has played through injury. He's been on his ground, you know, on the ground more than he's been kept up throughout the season. And then the run game for LSU has just
lost Will Campbell.
So despite the Tigers having what I consider a very good defense, this is a team that's probably going to finish 8-4, not 10-2.
Yeah, their defense isn't.
And Brian Kelly has just been one of those coaches. And
their defense isn't as good as people think.
Less with more. We're seeing it right now with Mike Norvell at Florida State. You're seeing it with Brian Kelly at LSU. And it's also just kind of proving out that the problem that he had at Notre Dame was himself. It wasn't Notre Dame, because Marcus Freeman has obviously gotten into the playoff and it might be doing it in back-to-back years. Brian Kelly just
Notre Dame
sucks,
sucks
against the wall in games like this where they are maybe even more talented than their opponent, but kind of got it in their sense that it's going to be a tight game and LSU just can't come through with that. I wouldn't be surprised if there actually ends up being a coaching change here at offensive coordinator with Joe Sloan there because of the struggles they've had. Even with Garrett Nussmeier injured, they still haven't been as explosive as they want to be. But I think very well we might be having a conversation here in a couple of weeks about whether Brian Kelly is on the hot seat, because a couple of top 5 opponents coming up. This week is huge with Texas A&M coming to town. It's a night game in Death Valley. I know A&M's a top 5 team. They're the highest ranked they've been since 1994. But A&M has some cracks. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Arkansas scored a lot of points.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they was finna lose to Arkansas. That's, I'm like, don't just be like, oh yeah, they're gonna beat. I honestly do not feel like Texas A&M is that good. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. You know, they're SEC team. They're a decent team, but I just don't think, oh yeah, we just like, oh yeah. Yeah, LSU just not gonna beat them. That's crazy to say. You know, LSU always ranked higher than Texas A&M. It's just point blank period. Texas A&M, they're not used to this hype. They're not used to this level of like level of hypeness. So I don't know. I just think I thought they was gonna lose to Arkansas. So it's like I just don't think they're beating LSU. You know what I mean? But no talking about Alabama. You know, we're not battle for the wow. Didn't talk about Alabama once. I'm telling you, bro. CBS, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. And this was me, like, even last year. Last year proved to me how, like how much CBS honestly, like, hates Alabama. You talk about Georgia. You talk about LSU. You talk about Vanderbilt. You talk about all these other teams, but you don't talk about us, though. You know what I mean? You talk about everybody else's success, but you don't talk about Alabama, though. I'm telling y'all, bro. CBS be hating, bro. They be hating on Alabama, bro. Telling y'all, bro. They can hate all they want to, but we still finna go places. They be hating, bro. Look at this playoff prediction. They still got Miami up there. You know what I'm saying? Telling y'all, but CBS, bro, they be hating on Alabama, bro. Real talk. This network is crazy.